Hi everyone, David Ahlund from Roland here, and today I'm here at Gear4music to show you our brand new TR-8S drum machine. But actually it's a lot more than a drum machine because you now have plenty of sample memory for your own samples, as well as a huge effects section and a lot more cool features. So let's have a look at it. So the TR-8S is the successor of our very popular TR-8 drum machine, of course. So you have the same features as the TR-8, which includes, of course, the famous ACB modeling technology of vintage Roland drum machines. But on top of that, you also have sample import now. So this means you have an SD card slot where you can import your samples, and you can store up to 600 seconds of stereo CD quality WAV files into the internal memory. Apart from that, we also have 8 pattern parts. So you have parts A to H that you can easily jump between while you're playing live. And you can also edit another part than the one you're playing. So really useful for live performance. Also, we have a big user memory for your patterns and kits. So this means you can get up to 128 drum kits in here and also 16 times 16 patterns. And each pattern has 8 patterns inside it. So that's plenty of pattern memory for you there. We also have plenty of effects inside. One normal, so to speak, reverb and delay section, which can be used as send return effects. But also, each single channel has its own insert effect. So that means you can put a bit crusher on the kick, you can put a distortion on the snare, and so on. And there's also plenty of assignable controls for each kit. So, of course, you have the normal tuning and decay here for each track, but there's also an assignable control knob that you can assign to literally any parameter you want. Now, speaking of controls, you can also actually color the sliders really simply by just going into the coloring settings here, and you can completely customize the background color of each slider, and this is also a kit setting or a system setting, either way you want. We also have quite a few interesting features like last step. So last step means you can actually set each track to be a completely different length. So this means you can set the kick track to be your normal 16, but then set the rim shot to be 7 and maybe the snare to be 5. And then you can spice this up with the auto fill-in section here that lets you drop in a fill every 2 bars, 4 bars, 8 bars and so on automatically, or you can manually trigger the fill. Finally, for your live performance, there's also plenty of editing shortcuts, a velocity-sensitive trigger pad, and a master effects section. But the interesting thing with the manual trigger is that you can also do it momentarily. So this means it will play the fill only for as long as I hold the button and then release it when I release the button. So this gives you the possibility to just drop in some really short fills by just pressing the button quite quickly. Now, when it comes to connections, there's also plenty to choose from. You have your standard master stereo out, of course, but then there's also the trigger output for any modulars or anything you might have that accepts trigger signals. But there's also 6 additional audio outputs. They can be used as normal audio outputs from your TR-8S, of course, but also they can be used as separate audio outputs through your USB audio interface that is also included. Apart from that, of course, you have the standard USB MIDI and also AIRA link compatibility. So this means you can hook this up to the MX1 mixer with just one USB cable, and you get it synchronized and you get all the audio through just that one cable. So in short, the TR-8S is a great studio tool, but also absolutely amazing for live performance. And that's it from me. I'm David Ahlund, and if you want more details about the TR-8S, check out the Gear4music website.